Hey guys, and welcome back to another video and another war. And today we have a perfect war actually, and I want to showcase a little bit more how you guys can do this as well, and what is going into this, what is important, planning on the bases and everything around that. Which means today we're not having like this classic thing, or like this classic video where I'm showing you all of the attacks. I will just show you the triples over here, since, well, the board is cleared. We took only 5 attacks for 5 triples, so I will show you guys all of them. And obviously I will talk about a little bit more about base identification and how you guys can do this as well, or at least like the planning and then like training and everything, and you guys will be able to do this as well. So first base is like a classic anti-Tusa base, how they were designed like a long time ago. And the reason for that is basically P.E.K.K.A Smash and Yeti Smash. Those are the big counters to this. And the reason for this is just the core. Take a look at this really heavy core, like over here. We have basically every single signature defense of the higher town levels clumped together and being really centralized in this base, which means we have 2 scatter shots, we have 3 Inferno Towers, we have 4 X-Bows. All of the main defenses are around the core. So you guys might wonder, why exactly is he talking about Yeti Smash or P.E.K.K.A Smash at this point? And the reason behind that is that if you're popping off a Warden ability in the core, it's really easy to completely smash the base. So what is the key behind tripling those bases is setting up a perfect funnel like EVCheck is doing right now. So he's funneling the right side with his king and the siege barracks, and then he's funneling the left side with the Warden Walk, which leaves a perfect pathing into the base for the Yeti Smash, and this means that the Yetis can completely wreck this base. Always keep the amount of Yetis in your mind when thinking about the attack. He started off with 6 Yetis, 1 went onto the outside, but he went with 5 Yetis into the core of this base. As soon as they're coming out of the base again, let's count the Yetis one more time. I think he only lost 1 Yeti overall, and this is just the showcase of how strong those Yetis are and why exactly those really stacked compartments, like this really stacked areas of a base, are super weak right now, and you should never ever do this in a base. So whenever you're finding a base where you have so many high important, like high value defenses in one area, just try to make sure that you have a perfect funnel and just send in some Yetis to smash the entire base, because as soon as the core is wiped, you can just like take a slow approach and just clean up the rest of the base like EVCheck is doing over here. The Royal Champion is still trying to get a couple of more defenses down, and just take a look at the amount of Yetis which are still alive. That is crazy. This is super crazy. Nicely done by him. This was the first 3-star for us in this war, and he's even swagging the Queen ability. So, nice start into this. Let's get ready for the next attack, because like I said, I will show you guys every single attack, and obviously always talk about like why we did that, what was the approach, what was the thought process in behind. Let's take a look at the next base, and this is going to be a Suilalo of Yorkama, and this is going to be an anti-2-star base like a teaser base. In those teaser bases, those X-bows and high DPS buildings are kind of one-sided most of the time. But what is kind of important as well is if you take a deeper look at the bottom side of this base, the only DPS buildings are always on the outside, which means like always the outer layer. What this does for the attacker is you have easy access to the point defenses, which means for your heroes, as soon as those point defenses are gone, you can easily take out so much of the base. Like those cannons are taken out, those archer towers are taken out, and this means there's not much left to actually make sure that you can get way more value. So take a look at the right side. You have the freeze, you have the skeleton spell over there just to tank the single Inferno Tower and a couple of more defenses to make sure that the Royal Champion is getting the enemy Royal Champion. And then you have on the left side the enemy queen, like their own queen, with no damage. Like there are no X-bows in behind over here or whatever, which means there's no damage on the queen. And this means like this Sui actually got freaking 50% already of the base. I mean, this is pretty decent, right? Like, it's pretty okay. But now the queen took out the enemy queen, and we have taken out most of the base already. We're starting off with our Lalo, and take a look at the positioning of the scatter shots. Both are tanked by the lava hounds over here, which means they're basically completely useless against the Lalo. And normally you have the scatter shots being one of the biggest counters to the Lalo. Perfect warden ability, and now we're getting into the back end of this base. And when I'm talking about base identification, like I said, this feeling about where the most damage is, like in this base, like for Yorkama, was perfectly done. Then obviously the deciding factor of taking out both enemy heroes, like the Royal Champ and the enemy Queen, is kind of an obvious follow-up to make sure that you're going with dragons after that, because I mean, taking out Queen and enemy Royal Champ, it's an easy decision to go with Lalo after that. So you have only the Eagle left, and this is going to be another triple for us. So well done to Yorkama. A nice attack, a really creative one. And this means we have 3 more attacks to go to make sure that we actually show all of the 3-stars for this perfect war. So let's get into the next attack. And the next one is going to be anti-3-star base. So we have a lot of different style of bases. On this one, I'm going for the Queen Charge Lalo. Why exactly? To be honest, the main reason is I just like Lalo right now. And then you have the enemy Royal Champ and the enemy Queen kind of close to each other with reaching like over here, and you have the town over there. So you have so many good things to get on one spot, which is kind of crucial on this one. So, well, yeah. And the back end doesn't look too bad for Lalo because you have always those air defenses, making sure that the lava hounds are stuck in place to make sure that everything is getting tanked. So this is perfect for me. So finally, and everything has started. Queen is going inside. Queen is still on rage, which means it's perfect for my Sisika because it's way faster than without the rage, obviously. Then the lava hound is popping. All of the lava pups are coming out. I need to deploy another rage to make sure that my Queen is actually staying alive. I could have placed it a little bit more aggressive, I think, like a little bit more deeper into the base. But, well, this only means that my Queen is a little bit slower now. Sadly, the sweeper is like, I don't know, like really close in range of my healers, which is a bit annoying because the combination of sweeper, ground skills and everything is forcing me to place another rage, which is kind of annoying and not planned. And now we have the Queen taking out the Town Hall. I have to start with my ladder really soon because the Eagle is already activated. There's another ground skeleton trap. Like, this is super annoying and delays my attack, which means I did not see the ground skeleton coming up, which means my timing of the Lalo is super off, which means that the Lalo is, well, the problem basically for me is that the Queen is not dying. That's like the big problem. So from this point on, we somehow need to deal with the enemy Queen. So this is why I brought a dragon in there, but somehow my dragon thinks that the enemy king is way more important than the enemy queen. I don't know why, but I mean, we all know this. It's super important to take out the enemy king with your Lado, otherwise the king will kill everything. I don't know what exactly this dragon smoked, but it didn't happen at all. So this is why it's getting super close in this attack. Now the queen is encountering my own queen, which kind of saves this attack because now my queen can kill the enemy queen, make sure that she has access to most of the stuff, and well, I'm just placing cleanup troops everywhere and hoping for the best because this attack will be super close on time, like all of my attacks are basically normally. So last couple of defenses are getting taken out and the minions are trying to do their work. Not the best attack and by far the closest attack, all of those which we did in this war. But I mean, in the end, the last lava pup is going to the upper gold storage, and this means this is going to be a 3-star. Lucky for us, but I mean, 3 stars a 3-star, right? So this is how we do it. Next attack is going to be from Wasman, so this one is going to be a Yeti Smash. And as you guys know, most of the Inferno Towers right now are put to single. The main reason, obviously, is Yetis. Like, this is the main thing why they came up. You guys might thought, okay, it's because Queen Walks are that strong. But to be honest, I don't think that the single Inferno Tower is stopping a Queen Walk too much if you actually have a plan for it and planning for it and everything. So the main focus basically is that it's a they try to somehow defend the Yeti Smash. So this is the first reason why Warsman thought, okay, let's go for the Yeti Smash with 3 Muta Inferno Towers. The next thing is that you have the sweepers pointing into kind of specific directions with like pointing away from each other. So he's choosing an angle where it's kind of safe that his healers are switching to his Yetis, which makes sure that the Yetis are staying alive forever. Like this is always the trick in behind of those those Yeti attacks, making sure that the healers are switching. And just take a look at right now what the healers are doing. They're switching like ASAP. In addition to that, they're staying on their target because there are no sweepers pushing them away, because the sweepers are pointing into a completely different direction. And this means this angle where he's coming from is completely safe. So this is looking really good for him, and perfect execution so far. Now the Royal Champion is coming in, and the reason behind that is because he wants to have the Town Hall down with his blimp. So this is why he's trying to clear off all of the air defenses and air targeting defenses. So to make sure that he can actually take out the enemy Town Hall with his blimp, because so far, well, I don't know, like the town needs to go down somehow. He's dropping the blimp way too early because, well, he has a like Cocodoon, but he's dropping the Cocodoon kind of late. So this is getting really close with Town Hall being kind of like going down everything. So it's freezing the Town Hall. Meanwhile, we have the Valkyrie and the Goblins trying their best to get to the Town Hall, and the Goblins are taking the town down. And this means this is going to be a 3-star because healers are alive, Yetis are alive, and we all know what is happening next. Yes, the base is smashed. The base is completely smashed. So nicely done by Warsman. Really, really nice recovery with the Yeti blimp for the Town Hall, and staying calm, saving the free spell for the Town Hall, and making sure that this is still going to be a 3-star and not a 1-star, which could have been a possibility for this in the end. But either way, another 3-star for us, and this means only one more attack is to go, and we're taking a look at that now. And this is going to be a Queen Charge hybrid. So on this base, like, what is the biggest weakness kind of on this one? Since well, it has like a lot of ground exposed, so you guys might thought, okay, let's do something with air. But the sweepers are kind of protecting the Town Hall side really well. So the thought process behind this one was like, there's a really long channel over here with the Town Hall, and there's nothing in the second layer which could actually target the healers or deal a lot of damage to the Queen. Like, there are no air defenses whatsoever. If this would have been an air defense, this attack would have not been possible. But because this being an eagle, it's easily done. And Tim is showing you guys how exactly to do so. He's breaking it over here, make sure that the Queen can charge this entire channel basically. And let's mark what exactly the Queen could take out. If I show you guys what exactly the Queen can take out, like all of this is taken out. This means the pathing for the hybrid would be something like this, with the king taking out the upper side as well, and the siege barracks obviously. And this pathing is like so perfect for hybrid. It's crazy. But let's take a look at the attack itself a little bit more. Queen is getting into the base. Queen is getting deeper and deeper. Obviously, you have to keep her rage to make sure that she's staying alive and everything. So far, everything is looking really good. Queen is getting to the eagle, to the scatter shot. Sorry. King meanwhile is getting placed to make sure that he's creating that funnel to make sure that the hybrid is getting into the base. Meanwhile, the Queen is getting closer to the Town Hall. Like I said, even though there's a lot of damage on the Queen, it's not enough first. And the second thing is, there's nothing in the second layer which is kind of threatening the healers. And this makes this work so safe, even though it looks kind of sketchy because there's so much damage. But now, since you use the Queen ability, everything is switching over to the hybrid, which means for the Queen, it's like super safe right now as soon as you use the ability. So nicely done. Now a couple of freezes for the core, and everything is staying safe. You might think, okay, this is getting really close, but you always have to keep in mind he has like 9 more Hawk Riders from a siege barracks. So this is looking awesome. Another 3-star for us, and this means we're going for the perfect war. Nicely done by the guys, and it's always great to have like one of those perfect wars, since they're not that common on Town Hall 13. If you have only one attack each, like in those wars you have only one attack, this means 5 attacks, 15 stars. That's pretty decent. So nicely done by the guys. And well, I hope you guys liked today's video. I hope you guys learned something new, and well, I hope you guys will come back tomorrow for another one. See you guys back tomorrow. Until then, and bye bye.